Welcome to the Welsh Corny. And it's not a beer review today, although I've got one here, which I'll have a little sip of. What it's about is Saturday, or the weekend just gone, on Saturday, I brewed a beer and totally forgot to put the video on. It's only a beer kit, so it's not like all grain brewing or anything, only a beer kit. But yeah, I was going to film it, but I forgot to put it on, so I'll promise to do that next time I do another brew. But what I want to show you is the fermentation unit in action. So here's the fermentation unit, which is obviously a fridge, but it's got the Inkbird connected and a heater going in. If I take that off you, well, excuse the hands. So in the fridge we have the lovely beer fermenting away. There's the heater down there. Oh, it smells lovely in there. It smells like beer. So I won't disturb it too much, but yeah, it's on its 5th day of fermentation, so it's not far away from being done on the first part. And this is the Inkbird. So this measurement here is what I set it at, 21 degrees. And at the moment it's gone down to 20.1. So this light here, that's the heating. So if that hits 20, then that will kick in and the heater will come on and a little light will show up. And then on the other side we have the cooling side, which is a fridge. So if it gets to 22 degrees, then that will kick in, which it did at the beginning. The first couple of days it was rising in temperature, and then the fridge came in a few times. And now the third, from the 4th and 5th day, which is today, it's now going on the lower side. But I'll pass you back. And nice close up of hands. But I thought the fridge and the heater would be kicking in a lot, but they didn't. Initially, I think it was it the heater had to bring the temperature up initially, but once it got to 21 on the first day, it pretty much stayed there, crept up a couple of point degrees, but pretty much stayed between 21 and 22. And then I think on the second day it was reaching 22 and the fridge kicked in twice. And then from the 3rd day onwards it's gone lower rather than higher. But it's obviously stayed within 1 degree each way because the Inkbird is doing its job. So yeah, it's working well. The next job is probably this weekend, is the secondary fermentation, which I'll transfer that beer into a pressure barrel, and then it will be probably 2, maybe 3 weeks in the secondary fermentation, and then it will be normally bottling, but I'm actually going to put it into a bag in a box so I can use this to have it on draft. Anyway, so hopefully I'll do a video of the transferring. I won't forget this time. Next time probably be a beer review, so see you there. Cheers. Oh, hello.
Too busy having a drink.
Yeah. Cheers, everyone. Brewdog Shore leaves, that one. Not a bad little pint. Anyway, I recently showed you the fermentation unit in the Welsh Corny pub shed in action. Brewed some beer, and it was in the fermentation bucket inside the fridge, which has the Inkbird and a heater. And it was brilliant, wasn't it? The way it's kept the temperature.
Yeah, the Inkbird's really good.
Really good. But now, today, it finished fermentation, the primary fermentation, and it's been transferred into a pressure barrel for the secondary fermentation, which is about 2 weeks, but I'm going to leave it longer because we're going to be going on longer, aren't we? So, do you want to show the pressure barrel? So, it's now in there with the pressure barrel. And we've lowered the temperature. It was set at 21 for the fermentation, now it's set at 19.5 and it's just above that at the moment. So if it gets, I think if it gets to 20 it will bring it back down to 19.5. Oh, what am I doing? It's going to have another swig there.
So what happens next?
What happens next is it's going to be in there for 3 weeks, maybe a little bit longer, and then I'll be transferring that into a bag which will go in a box, which will then connect up
To the pump.
to the pump, and we will have it on draft. And when that time happens, I'll do another video and pour the first pint. It's a real ale, by the way, that I'm doing. That's all it is. It's Cooper's Real Ale, which is Australian. And I've yet to work out the the ABV, because I've taken the initial gravity test and the final gravity test. I've got to do that equation. So I'll sort that out from when I pour it, and I'll tell you what the ABV is. Anyway, till then, cheers. Hello and welcome back to the Welsh Cockney. It's not a beer review today, it's all about beer. Out of here.
Beer out of here.
Yeah. Initially I bought a beer in a bag in a box from a brewery, hooked it up and it worked perfectly. So I thought, because I was due to brew some beer, and I thought I'd reuse the bag. It'd be a doddle. Anyway, it wasn't, because where the connector went in, it leaked. So that beer is still in the fridge, in the bag in the box. But what I've done is I bought some more stuff.
More stuff.
So we're going to hook it up, we're going to transfer that beer. I did try some, it tastes alright, but it's a bit flat. So I'm going to have to carbonate it. So we've got a Corny keg. That's what the beer's going to go into. Picked up some gas today, which will hook up to that obviously. And then in here we have the regulator, which will obviously fit to the gas tank and then feed gas into the Corny keg. And got gas and beer pipes.
It's a lot of kit, isn't it?
Connectors for the Corny keg. So I think that's gas in, the grey one, and the black one is beer out, which connects onto these. And then just a straight connector reducer for those. And that's it really. So yeah, that's the plan. Hook it up to this, carbonate it with the gas, and we'll be back on pump. So once I've got all that connected up, I'll then carry on with the video and we'll hopefully have a pint. Okay, so see you back then. Cheers. Hello and welcome to the Welsh Cockney for the third part of the fermentation unit in action. So I brewed a beer, and the first part it showed the fermentation bucket in the fridge, which is converted to a fermentation unit, and I set the temperature at 21 degrees C on the Inkbird. That all went well. transferred it into a pressure barrel for the secondary fermentation and dropped the temperature, I think, to 19 degrees C. And then previously I'd bought a beer in a bag from a brewery. Once that was used, I sterilised the bag and thought I'd reuse it for this brew.
Bit of recycling.
Yeah. And I did that and it didn't work. It leaked. So I've had all sorts of problems with that. And then what I thought I'd do is invest in a Corny keg, which I did, and I transferred the beer into that, hoping that it would be saved, because obviously it was sitting in the beer in the bag for about a week and it had obviously leaked. So now we have the Corny keg in the fridge and it's set at 10.5 degrees C. It's actually gone down to 9.7 now, so there's like a degree each way, so it's 9.5 and 11.5. So when that gets to 9.5, the heater will kick in and bring it back up to 10.5. And we've got it gassed up at 4 to 5 psi. And basically it's been sitting there for a week with the gas sealed in the Corny keg, and we're now going to pour a pint off of it and see what it's like. So here we go.
How's it looking?
Well, it's looking alright. Try not to get too much head on it. Obviously it's going to have to settle a bit.
Nice sound, isn't it?
You like that sound, do you? So
Is
there
it
we have it.
rescued?
Well, that would be in the taste, but you can see the, don't know whether, maybe I'll come over to the light. You can see it settling and cascading up. The thing I was worried about, that it'd be totally flat, which is why I introduced the gas with the Corny keg.
Don't look flat.
And it's been sitting for a week in the Corny keg, pressurised with the gas at 4 to 5 psi. So yeah, it looks alright. It's quite fairly clear, isn't it?
Looks pretty good to me.
Considering it was a beer that I thought I might have lost. So let's have a taste, shall we?
It's the rescued beer.
It's not a huge amount of nose on it. It's a bit of malt. It's a real ale, by the way. Just Cooper's real ale. So it's an easy brew. It's not like any all grain brew or anything like that. Let's have a taste. That's not bad.
Hey.
That's actually alright. It's malty caramel, quite sweet up front, with a little bit of fruit.
Ooh.
Don't know what fruit it is, but it's like a little fruity note to it, but not much bitterness. It kind of, there's enough bitterness to cancel the sweetness to a certain extent, but not any more than that. It's actually quite nice.
So nice, he's having more.
Good lacing around the glass. That's quite good. Do you want to have a taste?
I'm just tasting behind the camera.
Bit of behind the scenes tasting. What do you think?
That's alright, you know. That ain't bad.
Are you getting the same?
Yeah.
The caramel malt?
Yeah.
Do you get the fruit?
Yeah, slight. Like you said, I'm not sure what fruit it is, but there is a slight sweetness. Fruity sweetness. It's good.
Mid-brown?
Yeah.
One finger head? That's not bad. I mean, you know, if I had to score it, I'd probably say...
Don't score your own beer.
No, I shouldn't, should I?
You're drinking it, that's score enough.
Yeah, so at least... So it's a 19 litre Corny keg, So that's probably what, I don't know, 24 pints, maybe more. I don't know. Yeah, maybe more. So yeah, it worked out well in the end, even though it had many problems. So I wouldn't recommend reusing a beer in a bag, because where it leaked was where the tap goes in. That's where it leaked, so that wasn't good. Anyway, all is well now. So I'm going to enjoy a few beers from the fermentation unit, which is now set at 10.5. And it's actually quite a nice temperature, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, what a real ale should be at.
Mm.
Anyway, be back soon for a beer review. Until then, cheers.